So when you elect a convicted felon and established malignant narcissist to run your country, you then have to deal with that felonious narcissist threatening your allies. Panama, because the bloated felon claims that the United States should have Panama, in case you weren't paying attention, I believe it was 2019, while the bloated felon was in office, but ignoring Panama, that Panama and China started making friends. So it's not Panama's fault that the United States decided to ignore them and that China didn't, so they shifted from Taiwan to China. But either way, the Panama Canal's not for sale. So then your bloated felon went on to claim that, again, it wants Greenland. Strategic. Sort of like how it claims that the Northwest and Northeast Passage, which belong to Canada, shouldn't belong to Canada because they got stuck up there and they don't want to have to look to anybody else. So, thinking that he is now in Rome, thousands of years ago, the bloated felon is looking to colonize Greenland. And Greenland's response, Denmark's response, is to boost Greenland's defenses. Because, guess what? Your next president isn't acting like an ally to anybody. In fact, you know he's planning on dropping out of the World Health Organization? It's a separate thing, but, it's kind of to be expected considering how well it did with the pandemic. And while Canada has also been talking about beefing our defenses on what has been for most of, all of Canada and the United States history, and probably what is one of the longest undefended borders in history between Canada and the United States. Well, guess what? It's not going to be undefended anymore because the bloated felon keeps threatening to take over Canada. Since the United States, you've gone and polluted most of your freshwater resources, almost half of it, and Canada hasn't. In fact, Canada's polluted less than 5%. I was amazed and gratified to find out. They suck when it comes to lumber, but that's a whole different topic. However, Justin, who's got his daddy's ego and won't step down, even though pretty much everybody in the country is saying, would you get out of that damn office? You didn't do it very well. See, the big thing with Justin when he first showed up was that Canada wanted its own dynasty. Canada was actually desperate to have its own political dynasty. And compared to most of the people, yeah, Justin was pretty cute. But you know what? Cute's not a good enough thing to run an office. In fact, cute only works in that sense for women. That's what the patriarchy gave us, is that we can go in there and, swish our hips. And most men are stupid enough to just fall in line. But they won't do it for Justin. I wouldn't do it for Justin. He's nowhere near as cute as he was when he first started this, because the highest office in that land has pressures. He's lost his wife since he took office. But apparently, being set up for his third no confidence vote isn't enough to get it through Justin's head that just maybe the Liberals want a better leader. And here's proof of why we want a better leader. The bloated felon was known for not reading any of the daily reports that came to him when it was in the office. In fact, it's pretty well known that the bloated felon doesn't read at all. So what does Justin Trudeau do? He sends him a 6-minute video explaining what Canada is, as if the bloated felon cared.